Hi and welcome to the Angling Learning Trust Data Protection Training. It's going to be delivered by myself, Mark Povey. I'm the Trust's Data Protection Officer and I'm also the Technical Director at JS Information Governance Limited. So let's dive straight in. Chapter 1, Data Breaches, how to recognise them and then what action to take. So to start with, this is a definition, so it's long-winded. Do bear with me, it's important. According to the GDPR, a data breach can be defined as a breach of security leading to the accidental or unlawful destruction, loss, alteration, unauthorised disclosure of, or access to personal data, be it transmitted, stored, or otherwise processing. So please take a breath now after that. Thank you for that. Let's get on to the USB sticks. USB sticks and other types of media are still openly used without adequate precautions, and indeed acts can be instigated via these means. Australian engineers recently disabled 151 speed cameras by leaving a USB stick lying around, and on there they had a thing called WannaCry. We probably remember those from the hacks that have happened. As far as I'm concerned, they should get a reward for that, but let's be honest, it was a breach of the law. Yeah, Sonny?
So if I find a USB stick, what do I need to do? Hand it in to someone?
No, the best thing you can do is what I like to call the Mark 1 reset. Basically, hit it with a hammer until it's in bits. Okay?
Thanks.
So, let's get on to email, a real other way in. So email is still one of the largest methods of breach, sometimes called phishing. So remember, please never click a link if you think it could be suspicious, because it's likely to be an attempt to compromise your data security or indeed nick money from you. You know, classic one is, "Hello John, hope you enjoyed your holiday in such and such a place. Please click here because we want to just check that your billing's correct." That may be an attempt to steal credit card details, so be aware of it. Some good news. Not all breaches need to be reported. I know people say they do, but they don't. Breaches only need to be reported if the breach affects the rights and freedoms of a natural person. In other words, somebody who's alive. When breaches need to be reported, then the data subjects concerned must be notified, as must the Information Commissioner's Office, also known as the ICO. When notification has to be done, it must be done within 72 hours after the breach is noticed, or as soon as possible. Sonny?
When does the clock actually start?
So the clock starts the second that that breach is noticed. And remember, the clock is a calendar clock, so Saturday and Sundays are included in that, as are bank holidays. So, moving on. Actions that you must take, and then what happens next. If you suspect that you're involved in a breach or created a breach, you must notify the DPO on these details here. Please don't attempt to cover up anything such as a breach of procedure, because that could really be a problem as well, and do not report the breach yourself. What then happens once you've notified the DPO? The DPO, in this case me, will start an investigation into the breach, and it's going to raise a number of questions which you must answer honestly and factually, and they will be quite searching. Once we've completed that investigation, we will, if necessary, report it to the ICO and the data subjects. If it's not reportable, we will still draw up a plan that will help to avoid that breach happening again. Sonny?
So do I need to report breaches to my line manager?
No, it comes straight through to the DPO, and all of the individuals that need informing throughout the investigation will be. So some examples of breaches within education. We know of a ex-headmaster, no, so I said ex, who took a whole series of student records from his old school to his new school. That, ladies and gentlemen, was a breach under the regulation, and I think it's fair to say he now is no longer employable as a headmaster. There's also been instances of teachers moving data from their systems in the school onto their own private Google accounts and things like that. That again is a data breach, because remember, it's unauthorised transmission of. Thanks.